Imagine this. You go out and you spend $2,299 on a new Apple MacBook Pro from JB Hi-Fi. You do this so you have a faster, better laptop that you can use to edit photos, videos, write scripts, stories, essays, play games, do drawings, make logos, even just watch Tiger King on Netflix. But that leaves one question. Why? Why did you need to go out and spend $2,299 on a new Apple MacBook Pro laptop when you could have just as easily gone and bought a Lenovo IdeaPad with keyboard and touchscreen that works just as well for $999? Was it an aesthetic choice? Or perhaps it was a decision derivative of the idea that the more expensive something is, the better it is and the longer it will last. It could have even been brand loyalty. Whatever the reason, the transaction is done and you're now officially an Apple user and part of the 57% of Australians, as of 2019 from deviceatlas.com, who prefer the iOS operating system found in Apple's products. But why do 57% of Australians prefer Apple products? Journalist Leander Carney mentions in a 2012 Wired article, quote, "Marketers and advertising experts all cite the same reason. Apple's brand. Apple, a company that's been around since 1967, had a marketing renaissance with art director Craig Tanimoto's 1997 Think Different campaign, and a resurgence with Susan Alasangan's famous 2003 to 2012 iPod campaign that utilizes flat colors and silhouettes of people who seem to be having fun. A campaign that can be compared to an example given to us by Slavoj Žižek in The Pervert's Guide to Ideology, in which Žižek is cited saying,
"In our postmodern, however we call them, societies, we are obliged to enjoy. Enjoyment becomes a kind of a weird, perverted duty."
This is said in reference to Coca-Cola and is visually contrasted with advertisements from said brand. These are all iconic ad campaigns that focus on a feeling rather than information about said product, and are so heavily etched into advertisement history, which plays a big role in the fetishization of these brands as well as the products they produce. This is called commodity fetishism, an ideology theorized by Karl Marx, which can be described as the deification of an object, alienating the means of production and highlighting the loss of connection between the hands of the laborer and the hands of the consumer. The website cla.purdue.edu uses the example of a table to get a better understanding of this theory of fetishism, stating, quote, "When a piece of wood is turned into a table through human labor, its use value is clear, and as product, the table remains tied to its material use." Before using a quote from Marx's work Capital, a critique of political economy, stating, quote, "As soon as the table emerges as a commodity, it changes into a thing which transcends sensuousness." Apple, and subsequently its products, are another great example of this. Without looking it up, how many of you watching can tell me where an iPhone comes from? Who designed it? Who put in the hours and hours of labor to make it? Whether intentional or not, the means of production from a consumer standpoint is completely lost, leading said consumers to subconsciously see Apple as a big conglomerate that magically creates and produces product. This, alongside smart advertising that ignores the value of human labor in favor of the feeling of joy and the promotion of the obligation to enjoy, converge and change Apple from just a brand to, once again referring to Capital, a critique of political economy, quote, "a very strange thing, abounding in metaphysical subtleties and theological niceties." And much like the nature of commodity fetishism, as the product loses usefulness, value, or aesthetic, the feeling that's promised to us through the advertisements we're consuming also start to fade. We start to look for a new product, similar in nature, to kickstart that feeling again. We desire not to have our desires fulfilled, but instead to desire in infinitum.
A desire is never simply the desire for a certain thing. It's always also a desire for desire itself.
The people at Apple know this, which is why every 2 years we have a new iPhone, or a new Apple Watch, or a new MacBook, solidifying our feelings of obsolescence, similar in nature to Zizek's idea that
it's getting warm, it's no longer the real Coke, and that's the problem. You know, this passage from sublime to to excremental dimension. When it's cold, properly served, it has a certain attraction. All of a sudden, this can change into shit. It's the elementary dialectics of commodities.
This creates a cycle of consumption, which, in regards to Apple and its products, can be seen as something similar to a cycle of worship. A new product gets announced and it takes over the media. People line up for hours to be the first to get their hands on a new phone. Fights break out in stores over them, as if to say that without them, people lack value or purpose. It sheds the label of want, supersedes need, and turns into an obsession, a fetish, a feeling. Now, imagine this. You go out and you spend $2,299 on a new Apple MacBook Pro laptop. Why? Because like 57% of Australians, you enjoy the feeling of owning an Apple product. For however long that lasts. Thank you. Okay. Hi guys. Thank you for watching. David, if you're still watching, don't, because this isn't part of the essay. But if you aren't my tutor and you did watch this, thank you. When I set out to make a YouTube channel and only release one video, I didn't exactly expect this to be like my content that I was gonna make, but I appreciate it. If you can't tell, it was over like my laptop is what it was about. Which is funny because I spilled cider on it the other night, and now all the keys are sticky and I washed them, and some of them like don't make the nice key sound anymore, which is so sad. But thank you so much. If you did watch this and you liked it, let me know, because I'm trying to catch up to my brother who has 40,000 subscribers. Thank you, Caden. I'm trying to be you, baby. I'm trying to be you. But yeah, thank you so much. If you liked it, subscribe or hit a like, or if you want to see more essays, let me know. I really only did this for uni. But yeah, thank you. And there's a new video coming out soon. It involves spray painting, which is why it's taking so long, because the weather's bad, and you will see that in the video. But yeah, thank you. Bye. Have a good day.